Okay, we are live again for policy and property, except we're not doing policy and property tonight. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the market. I did not do the first quarter market review on Monday. We were scheduled to interview the mayor of Plainsboro tonight. We postponed that till next Wednesday. So if you want to hear me interview the next mayor of Plainsboro next Wednesday, please tune in. The Wednesday after that, we're interviewing Lawrenceville mayor next week, Plainsboro mayor the week after. We're trying to organize a candidate tonight for Princeton Town Council race. A lot going on the Wednesday edition of the Wilton Report. For those of you who are new to the broadcast, my name is Josh Wilton. I'm the co-owner and broker for the #1 boutique real estate company here in central New Jersey. And I have literally been in the real estate business in this space for over 20 years. And that's given me a firsthand seat to see how things happen in the market. And tonight we're going to be talking about the numbers. A lot of people talk countertops. A lot of people talk different things. I like to talk about the math of the market, and that's what this episode is, the math of the market. So let's get to it. I'm getting a little bit better with StreamYard, so here we go. There we go. Look at us. We are like so high tech. It's unbelievable. So looking at the math of the market. So West Windsor, right? I think one of the hottest markets in the county, if not the state. So we're just going to take a kind of a quarter versus quarter look, quarter 21 versus quarter 2026. And we're just going to look at some key metrics and we'll talk about what we're seeing in that market. So last year for the first quarter, 79 houses were listed. This year it was 73. Keep in mind, we are already at like an inventory crisis level in West Windsor, in Mercer County. So the fact that West Windsor had fewer listings in the first quarter than we did last year is a little disconcerting. $61 million worth of homes were listed last year in 25, despite the fact that fewer homes were listed, 65 million, 4 million more dollar volume, more listed. That's not bad, not good grammar, but whatever, was listed at a higher volume number than last year. The listed median price last year, quarter one, 2025, was $750, and this year it's $950. And I sometimes get like nasty messages from people who watch these broadcasts and episodes. And they say, why do you laugh at these numbers? They're so dire. And I'm laughing because I'm incredulous. To go from a listed median average of $750 to $950 in 12 months, it's a 26.7% jump, is massive. It's incredible, but that's why we do the numbers, for us to know them, for you to know them, what's going on. Interestingly, well, not surprisingly, I should say, 44 units were pended last year, 38 this year, but fewer were listed, so that makes sense. 39 sold last year, 31 this year, but again, we're dealing with smaller inventory. The sold median went from 700 to 755, so that's a 7.9% jump in average median price in West Windsor. And that's 3 months of this year versus 3 months of last year. That's just a big jump. I've been modeling the market at 6% appreciation. I've had some clients tell me I was wrong. Now I know I'm right. So days on market declined from 42 to 39. Unsurprisingly, months supply declined from 5.4 to 4.3. And standing inventory in West Windsor right now is 52. Last year, same time, was 54. Not a lot's changed there. But when you look at the market, so this is important. So buyers look at the market, consumers look at the market, and we like to assign blanket statements to what's happening, right? Good, bad, up, down, right? We want everything to be very binary. The market's not like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you through the West Windsor market by price point, by product, single family, townhouse, condo, 55 plus, and explain to you what's happening. And I want you to see the numbers for yourself, because if you're a buyer, they're alarming. It is what it is. So right now, single family homes in West Windsor, there's 3 active single family homes below 1 million. Pretty bad. The good news is there's 3 more in West Windsor active than there is in Princeton. I think there's 1 in Princeton. There's 10 pending, right? So there's 10 under contract in West Windsor. So there's 10 under contract, 3 active. So what does that mean? Extreme seller's market. Only 1 of the 3 has been on the market over 30 days. 0 have been reduced. So we'll explain what that means when we get to the townhouse segment, right? The single family market, there's 9 active, 15 pending, Of the 9 active, 1 has been reduced in the last 30 days. I'm sorry, 1 has been on the market over 30 days, excuse me, tired eyes, and none have been reduced. I personally think sellers and agents have gotten very aggressive. So sellers like to be bought. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Sometimes they'll just listen to the agent who assigns the highest value when they're looking for a listing agent. That's not how the market works, right? So I think there might be a little bit of give in some of the current 9 active. We'll look at it again at the end of next month and we'll see if I was right. So single family 1.5 plus million in West Windsor, there's only 1. So if you want it, it is what it is. Townhouses. Now there's a lot of new construction in West Windsor, not in the single family segment, in the townhouse segment. So there's 23 active townhouses in West Windsor. 24 are under contract and pending. So despite the fact there's new construction and they're moving, right, they're still selling. 24 are under contract. 21 of the 23 have been on the market over 30 days. 7 of the 23 have taken a price reduction. Because it's builders, Lennar, Toll Brothers, et cetera, about 7 have had their prices increased as builders sell out, scarcity starts to settle in, and prices go up. And that's what happens. So, when you're looking at this market, if you ask me where the biggest sweet spot is for a buyer in West Windsor right now, it's either above 1.5 million, single family, or townhouses. And even then, the townhouse prices are going up on average. So there are no condos for sale. So the condos in West Windsor tend to be Canal Point, Colonnade Point. They are single level units, flats, and there's nothing available, 5 contingent. So it's obviously extreme seller's market there. There was a little bit of a pause. I think the sellers got a little aggressive with their prices, and then the market caught up to them. There are 3 55 plus, 15 under contract, 3 active, 15 under contract. Only two of the 3 have been on the market over 30 days, none reduced. So we had a consultation with a buyer, a new customer who's looking West Windsor in the 55 plus segment. And she said, I would think with all the new construction, and there's a lot of the actives that you see are new construction, the prices would be softening. The resale 55 plus market in West Windsor is lightning. If you blink, you lose. It's that simple. So that's the recap on Montgomery. Obviously, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat or whatever. I know we're broadcasting across multiple channels because I am incredibly sophisticated with technology. I'm not, but my friend Victoria over there is. So Victoria will let me know if you have any questions, so feel free to put them in the thread. So let's take a look at Montgomery. I understand Montgomery is not part of Mercer County, but we sort of stole it from Somerset County. We can fight the county commissioners later. So Q1 last year, new listings, 30 came on the market in Montgomery. Q1 this year, 35. So 16% increase, better than nothing. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. Last year, the listed volume was 28.4. This year was 36.4, a 28.2% increase. So it outpaced the volume of homes, right? The listed median was 817 last year, 880 this year, an 8.6% increase. Interestingly, 35 are pending last year, 16 this year. It's a pretty significant drop, so I'm going to dig into that. 18 units sold last year, 17 this year, a 5.6% drop. But what's interesting, and really where the rubber meets the road, is that the stuff that sold last year, first quarter, the average sold price was $797. This year, it's $865. Right? So prices are going up in Montgomery. There is a little bit of new construction in Montgomery. There's some townhouses that are being built, those single families. So that is skewing the days on market, which went from 35 to 69, right? And inventory is the same, active 33 this year versus 33 last year. So very little change there. But when you look at the single family home market in in Montgomery, there's 7 active on the market. So there's 7 single families. West Windsor had 3, Princeton has 1. So if you're an under $1 million buyer, right, you just have more choice in Montgomery. Not a ton of choice, but a little more choice. There's 4 contingent. 0 of the 7 have been on the market for the over 30 days. They all were very new listings. 1 was already reduced. And again, sellers, if you've been on the market over 30 days, you have a pricing problem, just so you know. Or you have a condition problem, which is also a pricing problem. Single family homes 1 to 1.5, there's 4 active, 7 pending, 2 on the market over 30 days. One of them has been reducing their price on Knickerbocker pretty dramatically, so we've been tracking that one, but they started too high. So again, sellers, just because the market favors you doesn't mean you can price your product above the market. If a stock's trading at $50 and you tell your stockbroker to sell it at 70, you're going to sit on the market. Pricing in real estate is the same way. So the single family home market, it's a little more robust in Montgomery. There's 5 above 1.5, 2 contingent. Only 1 of the 5 has been on the market over 30 days. So a lot of fresh inventory in that price segment in Montgomery. We will watch it. I think the majority of it should move. Townhouses, there's only 5, 4 contingent. So despite the fact there's new construction, there's just not a lot of good inventory in the market. And there's only 155 plus 2 contingent in Montgomery. So Montgomery overall, seller's market, right? It's not like it's easy to be a buyer anywhere, but definitely in Montgomery, I would say definitely in that $1 million to $1.5 million segment for the Colonial, that's been prepped and ready for the market. Those are like hotcakes. Hopewell, one of the biggest municipalities by volume in Mercer County. You have Hamilton, which is a very dense municipality. Ewing, it's a dense municipality in terms of volume, but it's not as big as Hamilton. So Hopewell, 94 homes came on the market last year, 124 this year. It's a 31% increase. There is new construction in Hopewell. So there are more homes coming to the market. So let's skip down to the pended. Last year, there was 94 listings in the first quarter, 53 went contingent, right? This year, 124 came to the market, 75 went contingent. That's a 41% increase. So when you build houses, they will sell, right? It's just proof in the pudding. So there's people against housing, there's people for housing. We are in a housing inventory issue, so we got to deal with it by building more housing. And not apartments necessarily, housing that people can buy. Apartments are fine, people need it, but we got to figure out how to build housing that people can buy. Last year, the first quarter sold median was 607. This year, 716. That's an almost 20% jump. The units sold went up from 46 to 59, and the days on market statistically unchanged, 31 to 30. So despite the fact that 30% more inventory came on in Hopewell, days on market stayed the same. The sold median still went up, right? So it just shows you the latent demand in the market. So when you look at Hopewell, there's a lot of new construction happening in Hopewell. But in the single family under $1 million market, there is no new construction. This is all resale. There's 17 active. So think about this. West Windsor, there was 3. Princeton, there's 1. Montgomery, there's 7. Hopewell, there's 17. So if you're a buyer, it's almost like you're following the breadcrumbs to inventory. There's more inventory in Hopewell below $1 million than in any other segment of the market. I call it the upside down L. West Windsor, Princeton, Montgomery, Hopewell. 6 have been on the market over 30 days. So what does that mean? Let's talk about that. So buyers, if you see a house has been lingering, it has a pricing problem, or maybe it's a condition problem. Maybe the wallpaper's from 1950, but they priced it like their neighbor's house that had a total renovation, which means they have a pricing problem. You're not going to buy that house below market value. There is a market value for the house with the wallpaper problem. What you don't want to do as a buyer is wait until the seller reduces it. You want to bring your offer in while nobody else is bringing it in. You have to figure out the market value. There's 9 data points that determine value, not including schools, right? But there's 9 data points. If you don't know what they are, give us a call. We'll walk you through it. So as a buyer, you don't want to wait. As a seller, when you start to see, right, 6 of the 17 have been on the market over 30 days, 7 of the 17 have been reduced. That means people came on aggressively in that price segment in the first quarter. That's all it means. In the single family market, there's only 8 between 1 and 1.5, 16 contingent. Only one's been on the market over 30 days. One's been reduced. There was one last year. I went on their listing presentation. I told the seller, I said, look, if we list your house at this number, right, 1299, it's going to sell in the high 1.3s. We just need to stage it and prep it. We need to get the movie theater chairs out of your kitchen. True story. He said no. He listed it at, above 1.4, didn't sell, came on the market, didn't sell, took it off the market, staged it, lowered it. It sold in the high 1.3s. You can't outsmart the market. There's data points that determine everything. So the single family home market in Hopewell above 1.5 million. I saw one of them the other day. It's about $5 million. One of the nicest houses I've ever seen. There's 4, 2 went contingent in the last 30 days. 2 have been on the market over 30 days, and one of the 4 has been reduced. The townhouse market in Hopewell, there is new construction. Lennar's building out there. There's 19 townhouses for sale, 18 contingent. 6 of the 19 have been on the market over 30 days. So buyers, investigate those 6, right? If you can't afford the price that they're trading at today, figure out the data and figure out where they are going to be selling. Make the offer to that number, right? Do not be afraid to make offers. I meet with no less than 4 to 7 new buyers every single week, every week. And I have the same advice. Don't be afraid to make offers, right? 6 of the 19 reduced. So it's something to watch. As inventory builds, prices will get adjusted because sellers got aggressive. So the 55 plus market in Hopewell, 0.000. That's how that is. Lawrenceville, again, one of the densest markets in Mercer County. It's a big municipality. It stretches from Princeton on its east side to Trenton on the west side. It's got Hopewell on the north. It's got 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶𝐄, which I just joined, by the way, and I love 𝐂𝐎𝐶𝐄. So we were expecting more inventory in Hopewell, in Lawrenceville. There is a little bit more. So 75 last year, 89 this year, just about a 20% increase, right? Listed volume went from 49 to 53. The listed median went from 515 to 525, not statistically significant. 45 pendings last year versus 41 this year. Units sold is up 20%, 54 versus 45. And the sold median is actually down. So what does that mean? It means that a lot of less expensive inventory came on and sold versus last year where there wasn't a lot of condo townhouses that came on. So days on market went from 41 to 51. So pretty unchanged overall in Lawrenceville. It's definitely undersupplied. There was a house for $1.799 million sold in less than 24 hours last week or the week before. Didn't even get to go see it. So when you break the the Lawrenceville market down, there's 11 active homes below 650, single family. So why 650? Because the price brackets in Lawrenceville are different than Princeton or West Windsor or Montgomery. It just is what it is. Homes don't trade at the same value. As a matter of fact, I will pin to this episode, the episode I did of what you can buy for $1.5 million in Mercer County. And there's a bunch of episodes a bunch of houses you can look at. So in Lawrenceville, you can get the biggest house on a square footage basis versus the other towns. So again, 650 and under, single family, 11 active, 13 contingent, 4 of the 11 on the market, 30 days. Buyers, go check them out. Like, what are you waiting for? Those are the ones you want to sniff around in. There's probably not going to be a bidding war on those 4. Go look at them, figure out the pricing, make offers. 3 of the 11 have been reduced. Buyers, you don't want that to happen. You want to get in there before the market does. Single family, 650 to 999. There's 9 active, 8 contingent, 4 on the market over 30 days. 2 have been reduced. Single families, 1 to 2 million, there's only 4, right? 2 went contingent. Again, one of them I was talking about, Tomlin, Tomlyn. You can look it up. 3 of the 4 have been on the market over 30 days. So Tomlin was a party price. It was priced to sell, meaning they got multiple offers in 24 to 48 hours, took it off the market. They were done. Sellers who do that set the market. Sellers who overprice have the market beat them like a baby seal. Yes, I said that live on social media. Townhouses, there's 6 of them on the market in Lawrenceville, 3 contingent, 5 on the market over 30 days, 1 reduced. Townhouses in Lawrenceville have been very hot. I don't see that changing. There are 10 55 plus available in Lawrenceville. Of the 10, 5 have been on the market over 30 days. 5 have been reduced. Compare that to the 3 in West Windsor. So if you're a buyer and you don't need to be in West Windsor, check out the 55 plus market in Lawrenceville, right? There's some deals to be had. I just sold one. It was beautiful last week. We didn't give it a chance to marinate. We just took it off the market because it was an N-unit villa home in Lawrenceville, 55 plus, like brick exterior, the whole thing. So they're going to sell if the price right. This one was. But again, buyers, that's a little bit of a sweet spot in the market in Lawrenceville in the 55 plus. So let's shift to Princeton. The data set's a little different because unfortunately the 𝐂𝐓𝐒 zip code screws things up when you do research for Princeton. So I will tell you right now, there's 50 active listings in Princeton, 50 total units for sale. Now, of the 50, 5 are townhouses in Palmer Square. I think they've been on the market collectively like a billion years. 3 are new construction that are not, 4 are new construction homes that are not built. So of the 50, 5 have been for sale since I was a youngster, let's say. 4 are not built. So that's 9, which means there's net 41 available homes to buy in Princeton. The townhouses, they're just priced above the market. God bless the brokers and the developer, but man, they're just lingering. So last year in Q1 2025, 32 units sold. That dropped down to 30. So 10 per month in the first quarter. That is not a lot. Matter of fact, that's dire low. Sold volume last year, 51 million. This year, 38 million. Interestingly, average sold price dropped from 1.6 to 1.2. Prices are not coming down. Prices in Princeton are escalating. We just saw some houses in the lower price segments come on and go off quickly in the first quarter. There's some big ones contingent now, so that number is going to go back up. Days on market dropped from 60 to 45, and the listed sale price ratio in Princeton went from 97.9 to 100. So you can see the sort of pace of the market. Ignore the average sold price. There's just some cheap stuff that came on, which is good. The market needed it, still does. So here's the breakdown of the market. So you're a buyer, pay attention to the screen. If you're a seller, pay attention to the screen. Single family home in Princeton, there's 1 active. It's a 2-bedroom. It's a development opportunity, and I think it's listed at $998. This firm has it, right? 3 contingent, none were on the market over 30 days, none were reduced. Single family, $999 to $1,999, 5. And of the 5, I believe I know that at least 3 have offers. That leaves net 2 to the market. So think about that. Single family, 2 to 3 million, there's 16. So sellers, if you're in that price segment, pay attention. It matters more. 5 have been contingent, 9 on the market over 30 days. 5 of the 16 took a price reduction. And again, the single family home market, there's 9 above 3 million. I know at least 1 or 2 that went contingent this week. Same thing in the 2 to 3 million range that have not been marked yet. 4 active with contract, 5 of the 9 on the market over 30 days. 3 reduced. When you look at the townhouse market, so Princeton's an interesting market in that it's really the only town that you have to sort of break the townhouses out by price. We're probably going to have to start doing that in West Windsor too, because of the number that have been built and the price points that they've been built at. So right now there's 0 townhouses active below $1 million in Princeton. So single family homes, 1 below $1 million. It's a 2-bedroom on a moderately busy road, not super busy. And it's a development lot, like it's just a development house. 0 townhouses available. So you can see that under $1 million segment in Princeton is pretty tough. You have to act quick, and be prepared as a buyer. There's 5 contingent. There's 0 on the market over 30 days and 0 reduced. There's 1 townhouse on the market, one from 1 to 2 million, 3 contingent. And then in the 2 million plus townhouse market, there's 5. Like I said, they've been for sale for a long time. I don't see that changing. So it sort of looks like there's more than there is. Princeton really is at net 41. When you take the houses out that I know have offers, you're in the net 30s of what's really for sale in Princeton. Condos, there's actually 3. 2 are contingent. Of the condos, 1 has been reduced. 2 have been in the market over 30 days. I don't know why that says 60, but it is. So that is the math of the market, right? That is the episode for tonight. I hope that helps you understand what's happening in the market. You really have to go town by town, street by street, price point by price point. If we didn't cover your town tonight and you want us to cover your town tonight, just shoot us a message and let us know. Next week, we are interviewing the mayor of Lawrenceville. The week after that, we're interviewing the mayor of Plainsboro. We have a lot going on the Wednesday night edition of the Wilton Report. And so I want to thank you for tuning in. And remember, my name is Josh Wilton. This is the Wilton Report. And when you know the math, you know the market. Have a great night, everybody.